All right. So we're going to talk about Manulife 1 objections. We're going to wait till we get a couple of people in here. Maybe we'll have to edit this out. I don't know. I don't know how this works when it posts on your main account. But we are going to talk about that. We're going to wait for a couple people to join in, and then I'm going to encourage you to hit me with your objections about the Manulife 1 product. And so, in my opinion, the Man 1 product is hands down, without a doubt, the best product you can have in the market. Definitely on the uninsured world. And so is it right for everybody? It's right for more people than you think. It's just been positioned differently to the industry from Manulife themselves and from mortgage brokers. To be honest, a lot of mortgage brokers just fucking suck at setting it up. They're just not good, and you're screwing your client from the onset. And so the point of this call is I wanted to say, hey, the Man 1 product, I want to hear the objections that you have. So type them in if you're a mortgage broker, and I hope you are. If you're not a mortgage broker, well, if you're an end user, hey, you should listen. If you're a consumer, but I want you to put in objections you have to the Manulife product. And I'm going to run through the biggest objection that I get is, and I'm going to break it down for you. And I won't be able to show you things, unfortunately. I won't be able to show you things on a whiteboard, which I wish I had my whiteboard here. I don't. But I'm going to break down the biggest misconception of the Manulife 1 product, and I've got about 15 minutes or so to do. So the biggest one I hear, and this is a massive pet peeve for me, is I hear in the industry, the Man 1 product is a risky product. It puts consumers at risk, and it's not right for everybody. And I'm actually quite the opposite. I'm like, it is the least risky product out there, and it gives people a fighting chance at paying their mortgage off quicker. So I'm going to present a scenario to you, and I want you to tell me if you agree, don't agree. I want you to hit me with questions on it. And so here's the scenario. The scenario is clients they have very minimal cash flow, right? They have a $500,000 mortgage. They own $1 million home, $500,000 mortgage, and they have minimal cash flow. They have $500 to $1,000 a month left over at every single month. And so what ends up happening is if you were to put that person in a Man 1 product, and we've been coached from Manulife to some degree and from other brokers just not understanding how to be a mortgage broker on this product, a lot of brokers put a client into a $500,000 HELOC. So the entire mortgage is at prime plus with interest-only payments. If that is your advice and that is how you are structuring the Man 1, hell to the yeah. That is going to put people in harm's way. But that is not how you structure it. Not even freaking close how you structure it. You lock up a large portion in a regular amortized mortgage with a fixed interest rate. And so if you are a client and my client comes to me and I know they're not the best with money, but they have $500 to $1,500 left over every single month and they have steady jobs and whatnot, what's the difference between me putting them in a Scotia step with a $500,000 in a fixed account and giving them a $25,000 not advanced HELOC because they wanted access, they wanted a global limit of 525 and they wanted access to 25,000. I can do that exact same thing on the Man 1. I would just go 500,000 mortgage top up. I go 525 global, same thing. I'd go 475 locked in sub account. I'd go 25K HELOC advanced. That keeps the foot in the door for the strategy of power of the paycheck. And then I'd put 25,000 in a non-advanced HELOC. So the HELOCs, the non-advanced stuff, cancel each other out. They get access to capital. The fixed accounts, the 475 on my Man 1 versus $500,000 on theirs, pretty much the same. The only difference is I'm attaching $25,000 of that on a fully advanced line. Now that $1,000 delta that comes out this month can be applied to it, and they can start putting together the strategy of paying less interest. It's a difference of an interest-only payment on that $25,000 versus if I locked up that $25K in an AM, it's about $15, $16 a month. So that's the only risk. But if I put them in the step with no advanced HELOC, they can't use the power of the paycheck. So it's way riskier because there's zero upside. If I put them in mine and I'm checking in every 12 months to make sure the strategy is being executed, I can go, hey, you're actually crushing this. Now we're at the 1 year mark. Let's actually add more money onto the HELOC. Because if the HELOC runs dry, because we paid it down, the balance on the HELOC runs dry, because we paid it down so much, the power of the paycheck, that your extra cash every month just sits in a bank account like it would any bank you're at. So that doesn't work either. So now we need to prepay the sub account from the HELOC create a balance so you can start attacking it with the delta. This is complicated when I'm just talking out loud like this, but the point of this Instagram Live is I wanted to point out that this is actually one of the least risky products out there. It's just too many of you, or too many of your colleagues, or too many of your past clients did not set it up right from the start. And you put your clients at way too much risk, or your clients were put in harm's way. That is not how you do this. You do not put the entire balance in a HELOC. I don't care who tells you that. The only way that makes sense, let's just say the clients have a $500,000 mortgage, and you're like, I'm going to put it all in a HELOC, interest-only payments. That only makes sense if they have a cash flow delta every month of $15K, and you're putting them in a 3, 4, 5-year term. Well, yeah, then you could pay it down quite aggressively. But who does that? That's not the world we live in. So most clients, they have a 1,000 to 3,000K a month delta that's sitting there, extra cash. They're deciding what to do with. So maybe I'll attach a $50,000 line. Maybe I'll put a $50,000 line. I'll lock up the other $450 in a standard mortgage. Put a $50,000 line. I'll put you in a 3-year term. That's 36 months. If you knock this out of the park at $3K a month delta times 36 months, that's 91. That's $108,000 you could prepay down. I'm just putting 50 there. And I'm going to check in at the 1-year mark. And if I check in at the 1-year mark, and so that should be $36,000 that you put against that in a perfect world, 12 months times 3K delta. If you've only got 45K owing on there, it means you've only put 5 against it. Meaning you're really not executing the strategy. So let's not have a lot of it in at a prime plus. Let's carve out another 30K and put that in another sub account and lock it up in a fixed lower interest rate and give you a 20K home equity line that you could start attacking. But the opposite is true as well. If I give you a $25,000 HELOC out of the gate and I check in at the 12-month mark and you paid off the 25K, you're executing the strategy, that's cool, but now we need to put more on the HELOC. So I'm going to draw funds off the HELOC. I'm going to use the awesome prepayment privileges, the lump sum with Man One, 20% of the original mortgage amount. And let's just say the original mortgage amount was $400K on the sub account. That's $80,000. I could go and draw. I'm not going to. I'm going to draw probably $50K off the HELOC. I'm going to go prepay the sub account and create a $50,000 balance on the HELOC, which you can start putting your 3K delta again, and the power of the paycheck strategy kicks in. See where I'm going? We get to limit the risk quite substantially if you set it up this way. But if you're just putting people in a Scotia step and not even giving them the opportunity to take advantage of the strategy, you're screwing them. You're not setting them up for success. You're just going, I don't understand the product, but you can't say, my clients are in a risky situation because of the Man One. You get to manage the risk. There is zero risk if you set it up and manage it right. The risk is your clients pay the bank a lot of money over a 25-year mortgage if you set them up in a regular step. So if your client is bad with cash flow, doesn't matter. They can still take advantage of the Man One because you get to limit it by the way you set it up out of the gate. And that's a big misconception in the market. No one's talking about it, right? People want to shit on the Man One, which whatever. You're doing your clients a disservice by not understanding it and presenting this. And you're also not going to win deals at renewal time because now you're just back in the rate conversation. And this is a strategy. And now you are the strategy. The strategy it's a prepayment strategy. Let's not call it something fancy. It's a prepayment strategy. Match it with a fully automated tool to dummy proof it, to make sure Manulife's going to do the heavy lifting every single day to make sure you stay on track, whatever that means for you. And I'm going to monitor it every year at our annual review to make sure you're not in harm's way or you have enough on the HELOC to take advantage of the strategy. And that's what I bring to the table. And I'm going to set it up from day one the correct way so that you're not in harm's way. That's it. That is the whole thing. That is a completely different situation, a different product than anything you can offer with any other lender, any other way. It's something you need to learn. So I wanted to bring that up. I don't see any comments here, so I'll probably shut this down. Unless you have comments, please chime in. But that was a big thing is it's the opposite. This is the opposite of a risky mortgage product. You've been fed wrong information, and you've been fed it from people who aren't setting it up correct. And no, I do not work for Manulife. People ask me that. They're like, I don't work for Manulife. They don't give me $1. But we have the number one mortgage team with Manulife because we understand it. We put deals in and we win deals at renewal and uninsured files. And because we put so much volume, we get lower interest rates. So our interest rates aren't as far-fetched as you would get if you don't have the volume. So, and they also pay better than Scotia. Just saying. Better than, that's not why you use it, but they pay better than President's Club at Scotia. Don't know if you knew that or not. Just saying. But there you go. That's it, kids. If you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, we just stare at each other. I don't do too many of these, but I'm going to wave at you. I'm going to wave at you. Melanie, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm heading into training on this with my team where we're going to do a deep dive on the whiteboards and map out scenario 1, 500K mortgage, all in a HELOC with man 1, pros and cons. Scenario 2, set up the client, 475 in a sub, 25 in a HELOC, 25 non-advanced HELOC, 525 global. And then scenario 3, Scotia step, 500 in a fixed AM mortgage and 25 in a non-advanced HELOC for 525 global. We're going to map all those out and show the pros and cons. And the middle one with the man 1, with the 25 advanced, the 475 locked in, has all the pros. The Scotia one, you're on a 25-year AM. Good luck. Figure it out. The middle one, you've got a fighting chance at 11 years, 12 years, even if you only take advantage of it this much, and I'm going to help monitor it every year with you in a 15-minute check-in call, which is freaking awesome to give. Maybe we get 17, 18 years out of it. That's a massive win, right? Now, guess what? All those check-ins we do every year, my goal is I want to get into your circle. I want you to tell all your friends and family how awesome I am, how I stand out from everyone else, how I hold your hand on this. We haven't even talked about the sweep method with delaying your debt payments. We're not even talking about that. Let's see here. How to change the mindset of client from bank to Manulife 1. Client is to lean towards the bank. So first I need to understand what the pain point is. I need to understand what the pain point is. So what's the pain point? Is your pain point you want the lowest interest rate? And then if they go, yeah, I just want the lowest interest rate. I'm like what's your goal? Is it lowest interest rate, lowest payment, or least amount of interest, which means mortgage free faster? When I dial that in, if there's I want the lowest interest, then I go, why? What is that? What do you think that equals? What does the lowest interest rate get you? Well, it gets me, I pay the least amount of interest. You don't. Not if you're not in the right product, right? With the right strategy, you don't. The man 1 will outperform that all day long. And so you want to be mortgage free faster. Okay, well, you need to look at this. So I need to really upfront break down some misconceptions about low interest rate means lower interest paid and mortgage free faster. And when I can articulate that, and then I back it up with numbers and I show them a proposal built around their scenario without getting a full application, full docs. I only need so many pieces of information where I can come back within 5-7 minutes with a customized PDF proposal showing exactly what I could do for them if we decide to partner. Okay. Once they're in the man 1, would there really be any reason to ever change them out? No. But that's an old school way of brokering. Hey, I'm going to get them in my book and I'm going to get them at renewal time. No, you're not. Who's doing renewals right now? Once in a while, you get a debt consol, a renewal. You're always going to lose to the lender on a rate conversation. Doesn't make sense. A lot of you are doing, I call renewals fool's gold. You spend a lot of time, not a lot of outcome. A lot of you are playing that old game of, hey, I'll give them good advice. I'll write them an email or a letter that they can give to their lender, and then they're going to refer me. And then my answer is, why would they refer you people when you didn't have the best interest rate for them? Why would they refer them? So that you could write them another letter to go compete against their own bank, and then they go to their own bank. It's so broken. The mindset's broken. So yeah, you do lose them, but you don't. Your goal is to not, you do the deal, you manage it. Maybe they need to buy another property at some point. Maybe they need to restructure the deal. You don't get paid on that unless there's new funds coming out. But I want into your circle. That's the sticky thing. I want into your circle, and I want people to be champions of me. Right now, people aren't being champions of you. They're not being your referral circle. They're not going out shouting from the mountaintops because they have no reason to. But if I show you, give you hope that you can pay your mortgage off in 17 years instead of 25, in 15 instead of 30, in whatever it is, 23 instead of 27, and I'm going to be there. I'm going to set it up right from the beginning, put in a fully automated tool that makes it dummy proof, and I'm going to hold your hand every year and check in and make sure that it's structured, ongoing, to answer your questions. Nobody else is doing that. You will refer me. Because guess what? I'm going to ask you, is there anyone else in your circle that you've seen this operate now? You've seen from their perspective, by the way, the Man One product, from the client perspective, the portal they log into, it's way slicker, way easier to operate, way easier to understand than any of the old school banking you do with TD, Scotia, RBC. Like, it's freaking awesome. It's really cool the way you check it out. So you've seen this in operation now. Is there anyone in your circle who could benefit from this level of service and this guidance and this strategy? And by the way, cost $0 to work with me, for me to do this. All I ask is you refer me. And so that's up front in that discovery call. Hey, I'm going to show you how to do this. It's up to you if you execute or not, but I'm going to put you in a place. I'm going to dummy proof a lot of it for you and hold your hand so you don't have to think about it. If I knock this out of the park for you and I show you how to do this, would you introduce me to other people in your circle? But I want to show you what I do first. They're going to be like, of course I will. So that's what I'm fighting for. Okay? I'm trying to see if I missed another question in here. Oh yeah, once you're in there. Yeah, Williams Mortgage. Yeah, that's right. Good to see you, buddy. I just want to check the time here because I do have some training coming up. Oh, I have a couple more minutes. Okay. Okay, so this whole purpose, we were just talking about the number one objection I get, definitely from mortgage brokers, because clients don't know. Clients only know if they've been burned on this product, but they've been burned because they were set up to fail. They were. It was set up from the beginning, not the right way, and then they had no ongoing guidance. So what are we? We just take our cash and we run, even though we tell clients, we're here for the 5 years, we're here forever. That's why you should use me as a mortgage. Then prove it, then do it. Show them you're there. Come on. Right? So that's a big objection. Is it's risky, but it's mortgage brokers who thinks it's risky. And so I want you to tell me why you think this is a riskier product than the Scotia step. And I'm only talking about that because that's in our world. So if you can hit me with that objection or that question or your analysis of it, that's what I love to chat about, because it's quite the opposite. It's riskier for you to put them with Scotia because they're never going to pay their mortgage off fast enough. You're not even giving them the opportunity to try to do it. They're just into a 25-year mortgage, and the only way they can pay it off faster is if they increase their prepayment privileges and lock in those payments, which is great, cool, awesome. You're still not getting the benefit of all that daily interest saved, and you're definitely not getting the benefit of it now because your payments stay the same. Like, it's backwards. We've been fed misinformation on a lot of this, like most things in life, right? I'm at probably 45, 50 hours of training on this. I'll go toe-to-toe on the Man One with anyone, against any product. It is far superior. You need a new sponsor? Yeah, I do. This Instagram Live is brought to you by Gatorade Zero. It's usually some other type of electrolyte, but this is this one today. Okay, love it. Okay, so this is the last challenge here I'll put in here is, and it's just, I'm going to say it again because some people came in, some people left. I want you to challenge me, ask me a question, tell me why you think the Man One is a risky product. And like I said, I'll go toe-to-toe with you on this. You're doing your clients a disservice if they come to you and they're 80% loan to value or lower, and you're not at least analyzing and thinking about and looking at the Man One. And if that's your move, I'm going to put them in the Scotia step, and I'm going to put them in the Scotia, and they're at 75% loan to value, and we're going to lock them in. I'm just going to churn them for renewal in 5 years. Your business is going to die. It will. It's going to die. That's not a business model. So now you're no better than like something they go get set up themselves. Okay. Okay. No challenge. Challenge unaccepted then. That's it. I got to get ready for my training coming up. Running through all of this really in depth, showing the numbers, mapping it all out. That's what I got to get to. So thanks for those who showed up. I'll pop in and do a couple more of these. That's it, kids. Peace out.